Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss about the lubrication sampling. In the earlier chapters, I have already discussed about the importance of lubrication sampling. In this chapter, we'll discuss the objective of sampling, what are the best sampling practices, what are the types and correctiveness of sampling, and importance of sample bottle, and how to get best sampling results. So first we'll see what is the objective of best sampling. As I have already said, for successful oil analysis, we have to do the proper sampling. So successful oil analysis starts with proper sampling. And if we want a better accurate analysis result or report, then sampling plays a vital role. So we have to do best sampling. So basically, if the sampling is better, then our reading accuracy will be high. And by this, the reading disturbance also minimized. And the best sampling can be achieved by doing the following things like opting best sampling procedures. We have to opt the best sampling procedures because uh, in the next slides we'll discuss about how to do the best sampling, from where we have to take the samples for better analysis, and maintaining sampling location. Basically in industries, you might have seen, to take the sample we have to see the sampling points. The sampling point may be the discharge of the pump, it may be at the suction of the filter, it may be at the discharge of the filter, it may be some vents, some drains. So the best location can give you the best sampling. So we have to see the sampling point should be either the discharge of the pump or before filter. This is the best point of taking sample. And another thing is that in which apparatus, in which bottle we are taking the sample, that apparatus must be in a clean condition. I will discuss in the further slides that what is the cleanliness of the bottle, what should be the limit for that. We'll discuss in the next slide. So here we see the best sampling practices. We'll see here what are the practices we have to follow for best sampling. So the first point is separate sampling point must be provided to take samples. Means in pump, you see there is a level system, then we have to see where we have to take the sample. Sometimes we take the sample from drain, maybe some vent. No, we have to provide a sampling point. So if a sampling point is there, definitely the sample collector will come and take the sample from that point only, and that may be the discharge of the pump or the suction of the, means the entry of the filter. Selection of sample point must be the area where lubricant flow is not restricted. So we have to see from where we are taking the sample, that area the flow should not be restricted, it should not be the dead point. The flow should not be laminar, so turbulent flow must be there to take the sample. And the best part is that the machine should be in running condition. The fluid to which we have to test that sample fluid must be having some temperature, it should not be cold fluid. So best point of sampling is the Lewell filter suction, or you can say the vent of the Lewell filter. Sample should be taken, as I have said, in a running machine, or else the machine just shut down after 30 minutes, so that the oil must be hot, not cold. and where from we are taking the sample, that point must be properly blocked or properly dummy by using some petcocks or valves, because that dummy is used to prevent the oil contamination, as well as it prevent the leakage of oil after taking the sample. So in the next slide I'm going to show you the oil hand pump. You know, the hand pump is the best way to take the sample. We are taking the sample by using the sample bottles, and what type of sample bottles we are using, what should be the size of that, what is the cleanliness of that, I will discuss in the next chapter. But here you see the this is a picture of mm, hand pump, oil hand pump, and this is the best way to take the sample. You see, in this there is a sampling tube. This sampling tube as well as the sampling bottle, this must be changed for every sample. The number of sampling means you have to change number of sampling tubes and sampling bottle. One bottle and sampling tube will be used for one sampling only. So you see here, for every sampling we have to change this bottle and the tube. Sampling, and the sample will not affected by environmental condition. You have to see the environment should be clean enough. If that is a dusty environment, we have to much more cautious whenever we are taking the sample. And accurate reading is achieved by using such type of sampling method, by using the oil hand pumps. And you see the sampling point, as I said, the sampling point selection plays a vital role. And you see in this picture, there are four sampling points. The bottom is the drain, and it is the wrong sampling point, because we know the contamination are heavier than oil. So always this contamination settle at the down. If we take the sample from the bottom, then the reading is not accurate. And you see at a height of the sump, so it is a good sampling but not that much good. If the sample is a little bit in a higher height in the UHC, it is also good. But if we take the sample from the vent with some pressure, then it is the best point for getting the sample. So now you see the type and correctness of sampling. What are the types of sampling, how we take the samples, what are the types, and what is the correctness by using such type of sampling. Basically, sampling always depends upon the type of equipment and the condition of equipment and the condition of environment. So type of equipment, if it is a rotary machine, and whether the machine is running or not. If it is a static machine, there is a sump and we are taking the sample. And what is the working condition, whether it is dusty environment or clean environment. So such type of equipment types, working conditions affect the sampling a lot. So sampling types, we'll see the bottom sample. It is always dangerous. Never take sample from drain points. This is the bottom sampling means drain point. You should not take, should not prefer. You must avoid this. Then live zone sampling. You see, the live zone sampling means the equipment is running and the fluid is in a running condition. There is a turbulent flow. Always prefer such type of sampling, because you have to take the sample from the downstream of the pump or cylinder or gears, and from the upstream of the filters. And that time the fluid flow must be there. When there is a fluid flow, then the sampling is better. And remember some points: never take sample from dead end connection. As I have already said, where there is a laminar flow, you should not take the sample. Where there is a dead end means there is a contamination, you should not take the sample. And sample from any sump or from the filter itself is must be avoided. You should not take sample from the sump and filter. Then never take sample when machine is not operating, or the fluid is cold. As I've already said, better sampling if the equipment is in running condition. Now the third type sampling is prop style sampling. Here what we are doing, we are using a prop, that is open bottle. We are just using a sample is collected in an open bottle using a prop depending on the configuration of the equipment. As per the equipment, we have to use this prop to take the sample. You see in this picture, these are the props, and you see there is a stop valve also. By rotating this, we have to stop that point also, so that there should not be leakage after sampling, or dust contamination must not be there. Next, use a push turn sampling valve. This is another method of sampling. Here we have to use a or exert a force, pushing force or turning force against the valve to take the sample. And whenever we release this force, the valve automatically stops. So this is the best way of taking the sample also. Here also a dust cap, you see from the picture, a dust cap is provided to prevent contamination or oil leakage after sampling here. So this is all about here the type and correctness of the sampling. Now we'll see the importance of the sampling bottle, because it plays a vital role. As you know, the sampling bottle used in the factories are maybe plastic type, maybe glass type. So we'll see here what is the importance of sampling bottle. This is basically three types of importances are there, like size of the bottle, what should be the size, what is the material used for the sampling bottle, and what is the cleanliness. So this is the three parameter we have to see. As per the sampling and as per the types of oil, we have to choose the bottle. Bottle size may be 120 ml, maybe 60 ml, maybe 200 ml. If it is engine oil, we can use 60 ml bottle. If it is hydraulic oil, we may use 100 ml or 120 ml bottles. And normally for aviation, we are also using 200 ml large bottles for taking the sample. So now you see the material of the bottles. Material of the bottle may be PET type, maybe it may be polyethylene type, it may be ABS plastic. PET is a type of plastic, that is polyethylene terephthalate. Then ABS is acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. So these are the types of plastics. We may use PET type plastic, ABS type plastic, clear glass, that is lab quality glass like Borosil company. Such type of glass also used, and polyethylene type plastic also used. This PET type or ABS type plastic are used for a oil of temperature up to 93.3 degrees centigrade, that is approximately 200 degree Fahrenheit temperature. And the best one is the glass, to use the glass type bottles, but there are so many limitations. Though glass bottle are easier to clean, but it is more expensive and it can break easily, and basically it is very difficult to handle around the machine, because around the machine there are so many obstacles. You cannot carry a glass bottle and take the sample. There is a chance of breakage of the glass. So the in the industries, you see the PET or ABS type plastic are used very frequently. And third point is the cleanliness of the bottle, how much clean it is, and the grade of cleanliness. It may be clean or super clean or ultra clean. Whenever you are taking or purchasing the bottles from the market, always ask the vendor to give a certified clean bottle. But how you check the cleanness of the bottle? How to check this cleanness of the bottle? You see, there is a signal to noise ratio. This is the, you can say, the measure of cleanness of the bottle. And this signal to noise is nothing but the ratio of the target cleanliness level, what is the requirement of the cleanliness, divided by the contamination present in the body. So for example, the target cleanliness is around 75 and the contamination in the bottle is 7.5, then we can say the SNR, that is signal to noise ratio, is 10. So you see from this picture, the lower picture, it shows there are some contamination. So it may be, you can consider as clean bottle only, but in the upper one there is no contamination, it may be super clean or ultra clean type bottle. So this is all about the importance of sampling bottle. You see there are three parameters, as I said: size of the bottle, material of the bottle, or cleanness of the bottle. So now you see how to get best sampling result. How to get the best sampling result. So the sampling point, choosing the best sampling point, that means the sampling point in a correct location. As I have said, the sampling point should be at the discharge of the pump, or at the suction of the filter, or at the vent of the filter. So if you choose the correct location, you will take the proper sampling. Proper sampling procedure should be followed. If sampling procedure is not right, then you cannot take a proper sample. Clean and current sampling container. As I said, the cleanness of the bottle must be ensured. Not only bottle, but also the apparatus you are using to take the sample, to collect the sample. Collect sample and forward it to the lab immediately. This is very much important, because if you stagnate the sample for a longer period, then the contamination will be settled down. Your report may differ. The accurate reading cannot be assured. Then correct sample preparation in the lab, because in the lab, whenever you are preparing the sample, you are not using the total bottle of the sample, you will use a little sample with some chemicals. So there you have to see the proportion of the oil with the reagents. So we have to ensure the correct sample preparation at lab. And basically, what are the solvent and reagents you are using? You have to see the high purity of the solvent. If you are using the contaminated reagents or solvent, or the inferior quality of solvent reagents, then your reading cannot be accurate. Then correct selection of test procedure, you have to adapt the best test procedure, and only calibrated instruments should be used in the lab. If you are not using the calibrated instrument, then definitely the reading is not accurate. And proper knowledge of the lab assistant, whoever is testing, his knowledge, his data interpretation quality must be good enough to give a proper sampling result. So you see how important is the sampling in the oil analysis. To get a accurate reading, our sampling must be best. And in this slide we have seen a lots of procedure to take the sample, and how to take the sample, what are the measures we have to take to get a better sample, you can say best sample. So this is all about sampling of oil, lubricant oils. So we'll meet in the next session. Goodbye. Thank you.